and welcome back to Women's View on Ahlulbayt TV. You joined us again for the last half an hour of the show. Now, if you're watching before the break, you would know we're speaking about the topic of women going into ambitious careers. Does Islam prevent women from going into ambitious careers? Now, we had a few phone calls, one from Africa and another one from London, I believe, of women who are saying, yes, women can go into certain careers and seek education, but the careers shouldn't define a woman themselves. You know, they shouldn't kind of let the pressures of society define them. And the duties of the house is the most important. We did read out many of your emails and your comments posted on Facebook and received some of your phone calls. I just want to remind you all that the phone lines are still open for the last half an hour of the show. So if you would wish to call in, then please do call in with first. Please call in now rather than later. And we are still we're still receiving some of your emails out. So inshallah, we'll be reading all your emails out during today's show. Some of your comments received are being shown at the bottom of the screen for all viewers to see what other viewers had to say on the topic. So today's topic is women going into ambitious careers. Does Islam prevent women from doing so? I'm your host Zahra Al-Alawi, and today with me is Sister Fatima AlKhuzaei. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Welcome back for the last half an hour of the show. Now, during this topic, it's been interesting because you know, not just the calls and the emails received during the show, but even on Facebook. Anyone that has access to Facebook can check the Ahlulbayt TV fan page and seeing, you know, people opposed, people agreed, and it was an interesting discussion. But now going on to some of the role models, I mean, I really want to focus on these role models because I believe that these role models are our inspiration, the role models within Islam. Now, we mentioned a few like Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam, Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, Fatima Ma'suma al-Qum. And in Fatima Ma'suma, there's narrations which say that some of the questions posed to her father, she used to actually answer these questions and send them back. So, you know, we see that these women had such great knowledge. So I really want to comment more on that.
Islam wouldn't have got out without the sword of Ali and the wealth of Khadija. So without wealth of Khadija, we wouldn't even be here. So if Khadija alayhi salam wouldn't have been into commerce, wouldn't have that much money, we wouldn't actually have Islam here today. So yeah, it's very women into careers have women's role in the society and into careers. It has a very big role in spreading Islam, spreading the religion, and keeping it as it is from the beginning. Yeah.
Definitely, I think, like, for example, we mentioned Khadija. Khadija alayhi salam was a businesswoman, as we know, and her contribution and her success in her career path, you know, it's amazing because Islam is survived due to the wealth of Khadija and her career path and her kind of not ambitious career path, but her role played such a huge part in building Islam itself. So I believe that even when we look at other role models, there's, you know, I was researching into this just a few weeks ago due to a lecture I was giving, and when I came across the narrators, female narrators within Islam, I was absolutely shocked. I mean, the amount of female narrators we have in Islam, that we take our hadith from them, and they were, you know, knowledgeable women. You know, it just blew me away. We have a call on the line, then inshallah we'll come back after the call and talk more about this. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam, sister. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just want to say that I love your show, and I love your subject that you bring up, especially today's subject. It really intrigued me. And I just want to say I really admire women that go into hard-working jobs and that make their own living and support their families. But they'll have to make a big sacrifice. You know, for example, taking their children to nursery, so therefore spending less time with them. So I just want to ask: do you think that you can, that our guest Fatima can take on a hard-working job and at the same time have time for her family?
Definitely interesting questions. Thank you very much for calling in. I think this has been echoed throughout the whole show, and I knew when we started this show, I knew this will be our focus on today's show, because obviously women, we know, have a certain role at home, and we know this is emphasized and encouraged within Islam. So she wanted your opinion. So do you think, I know we've spoken about this, but do you think that a woman can go into a job role and at the same time do her duties towards her family?
I think it depends on the woman, but if the woman has proper time management, knows what priorities come up first and what she can do to keep both her career and her kids, so she could, for example, as I said, a surgeon could, for example, become a family doctor or change within the limits. I think the balance could happen, you know. We have lots of examples around us, successful women, and they all have successful families, and so.
Definitely, yeah. I think you know, we've kind of touched upon careers and women seeking education outside the house in our previous shows as well, and it's always the focus is on these shows seems to sway towards women at home and the women doing their duties at home and then doing their duties to the community. It's always been like that, and like you said, that sometimes you can, it's about time management. The way I look at it as well, I hope you don't mind me speaking a lot, it's just something I'm so passionate about, so I want to speak a lot on the issue. I believe that a woman, for example, if you're a woman and you have a family, you have children, you have a husband, you have a house, and you do want to go into a certain career or seek education, I think at the same time you should look into Islam and look at what your role is within Islam as a woman. And at the same time see the right of a husband, the right of your children, the right of a house. I think, you know, there's Risat al-Huquq by Imam Zayn al-Abidin, which you can look into. For example, he says that a woman has to obey her husband, she has to do the duties towards her husband, she has to please her husband both physically and due to the house as well. So I think once you see the rights of the husband, rights of the children, rights that you have to give to certain individuals, then whether you choose to take a career or whether you choose to seek education outside the house, you're not going to neglect any duties, because you know that I need to fulfill these duties towards my husband, towards my house, towards my children. And once I fulfill these duties, then I can kind of take a career and take that. And like we said, we have great examples of female role models within Islam who kind of done both.
For example, Sayyidah Zainab alayha salam, she had, of course, she had a husband, she had children, but she actually had like majalis, or she had teachings. She taught women about Islam and so on, and that she not only teach women, a lot of men narrated from her. So from that we could say that men also benefited from her teachings. And another thing, after Imam Hussein alayhi salam shahada, she took the role of Imam Hussein. She actually, people came up to her and she used to tell them halal and haram, not only women, men as well, people generally used to come to her and she used to tell them what is halal, what is haram, until Imam Zayd al-Abidin alayhi salam healed from his sickness. So, and even in Karbala, there's a saying that if Imam Hussein was a woman, he would be Zainab, and if Zainab alayhi salam was a man, she would be Imam Hussein. So they have equal roles. Both of them have important roles. Their roles are equally important in society.
Definitely, I think the role that Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam took was, you know, magnificent, and we see that, you know, she is an inspiration for many women out there, and myself as well. Definitely. We're getting more emails coming through, so I hope you don't mind me reading them out. So, Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters, great shows. I agree with the callers and with yourself, Zahra, and the guest. It's a tricky topic, but I think women in Islam should work extra hard to show the world the success of women in Islam. With many women choosing to stay at home and being non-existent in society, it really portrays a bad image to the West. That's my opinions. People can oppose it and people cannot agree with me, but this is what I would like to say. Fatima from the USA. So I think that's what I agree with the sister in a certain extent, due to this the story that I told you of it's kind of true that, you know, I'm not going to say whether a woman has to go outside. It's wajib for a woman to seek education. That's, you know, no one can deny that. Whether you seek education at home or outside, that's up to you. But it's wajib upon a woman to seek both Islamic education and general education as well. But the sister mentioned how we should be kind of out there to give a good image to Islam. I know I spoke about this during the middle of the show, but do you have any comments on that?
Yes, I mean, it's not always, you know, looking at the West, seeing what would please them, what would not. I think, well, let's do it for ourselves. If a person is ambitious, we shouldn't stop them from being so, because Islam allows it, so why don't we? And so if someone's ambitious, we shouldn't stop it, because if you stop a person, or a woman especially, from following her dreams, what she wants to do, especially seeking education, which is a good thing, if you stop her from doing that, that would just make depression. And I don't think a woman with that condition would raise children like properly. So I think children seeing their mother, which is their role model most of the time, seeing their mother being successful, they would try to be the same as her as well. Their mother and father, both, I mean, both parents. But yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
No, I think it's, you know, I agree with both yourself and the sister that emailed in. Seems like she emailed in from the USA, I'm not sure where. But yeah, it does just spark something in my mind. I hope you don't mind me saying. You know, recently, I think it was about 2 months or 3 months ago, someone emailed into the channel about, you know, women appearing on TV, and I believe it was more than 2 or 3 months ago. It was before basically Ahlulbayt TV was shut down from the Middle East. Someone emailed in from Saudi Arabia, and what they emailed in, they said "Salaam alaikum," and it was in Arabic, and they just had one link, and the link was to a news channel, to a news website, but it was in English. And then I clicked on the link, and it said fatwa released in Saudi Arabia. Women are banned from appearing on TV or something like that. That there's a fatwa given that women should not appear on TV. And, you know, I read this and I said, you know, what? Women cannot appear on TV, and it said because there are fitna to the community or something like that. It was something ridiculous. It had no basis to the fatwa given. There was no Islamic basis to what they were saying. So I didn't reply to them because the whole email was in Arabic. And then I showed it to some colleagues, and they were actually very shocked. They said, you know, in such areas that women are so oppressed that, you know, they cannot appear on TV because of being a fatwa, because of being a fitna to the community. And that's what the email said. I'm like directed from the email. And then afterwards we replied back in Arabic, and I was saying, well, if women appearing in public are a fitna to the community, then why would Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam take his daughter Fatima Zahra into the event of Mubahila? As we know that the Christians, the debate between the Christians, he took his own daughter Fatima Zahra, who is one of the most holiest women. He took her to that. So if women shouldn't be appearing in public, why would the Prophet take his own daughter? And I wrote a long email, but that was just something interesting. We have a call on the line, so inshallah we'll come back after the call. Salaam alaikum.
Salaam alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salaam alaikum, sister Zahra and sister Fatima.
Wa alaikum assalam, sister. Welcome to the show.
Just would like to put my opinion across. What it is that I believe a woman, can achieve her goals, no matter how much they are, whichever it is, basically going far in her career, doing really well in life, you can achieve it no matter what. I mean, they shouldn't use Islam as an excuse of I can't do it. And if it is, basically, if it is that they're doing a job that Islam doesn't allow, that they're doing it against Islam, they shouldn't be doing it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can reach your goals and nothing should stop you.
Definitely, definitely. I really echo what you say, sister, and I know that many females were probably cheering on to what you're saying, but I totally agree to what you're saying, and many people try to use Islam as an excuse for women not to go go after their ambitions, but I totally agree.
Yeah, I just want to say to all women, we are strong and we can achieve
so much in life. Please, sisters, don't let anything let you down and think that you can't do it, because I'm sure you can. And just go for it. And as long as you're against anything against Islam, then, you know, go for it.
Definitely true. Thank you so much. I think you put a smile on my face. So thank you so much for calling in, sister. I think it's true, and you know, this is why I wanted to say that that sometimes, you know, when someone does put so much pressure and say women can't do this, women can't do that, that's not Islam. And you know, Islam came to give. You know, I'm going so into the women's rights and everything. Islam came to give females their rights back. Women had no rights before Islam. And Islam came to give women their rights. I'll say this, and I really believe this, that if men, not just men, I know men will start emailing and attacking. I mean, if the society and the communities gave women the rights, which Islam gives women the rights, I'll tell you this, and I really believe this, Muslim women will be the most successful, most intellectual, and most ambitious people in the world, and they will be inspiration for the world. Honestly, if people gave women rights like Islam give, like when I read about the rights of women in Islam, I'm like, where is the community? Why are they not giving women their rights? And you know, if women did have those rights, we will be the most successful, the most inspirational, and the most ambitious women, and even non-Muslims will look upon Muslims like Maryam alayhi salam, Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, and Khadija have become role models for even non-Muslims. Muslim women today will become role models for even non-Muslims. That's what I believe. Especially
that the hijab actually presents the woman in her professional way, like presents a woman with her mind, how she thinks, and doesn't actually give distributions like. And another thing is that
yeah. Do you have anything to say?
No, thank you.
No, that's true. I mean, that's the thing. I know we'll be doing other topics for female rights and the rights that Islam gave to women. We had a documentary actually that was produced on the rights given to women, and you know, I get so many emails. I'll even forward some of the emails to you, and you know, the team, Ahlulbayt team, have already seen many of the emails coming through of women. You know, sometimes I feel like women, you know, they're prevented from doing a lot of stuff. They're saying women shouldn't do this, women shouldn't do that, women shouldn't do that. I mean, look at the school of the Ahlulbayt have really uplifted women, and it's given us such a great role. You know, when trust me, if anyone opens a book, any woman opens a book and tries to seek education, she will not be able to stop, because it's such a it's like a, I don't know what to say.
It's very interesting. It's very as soon as you get into something, I mean, if a girl, thanks for the call, I mean, that's exactly like, she took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, if a girl has a passion to something, she should start. I mean, Imam Ali said two people do not stop, like people طالب علم وطالب مال اثنان لا يشبعان طالب علم وطالب مال. So the seeker of knowledge and the seeker of money, they can't stop. So the seeker of knowledge, if you start and you find it so interesting, you'll go on and go on. And I think it's a good thing for the society to have women that hold knowledge. I mean, women are half of the society, or more than half of society. If you keep them back and you always like take them backwards, then how would this society go upwards? I mean, even a woman, when she raises her children, she's raising both men and women. So she cannot give the idea to her daughter that you cannot do this, you cannot go after your passion, you cannot go after your dreams. She has to give them give them a push to help the society. I mean, even about the jealousy point the sister mentioned.
That was posted on Facebook.
Yeah. I don't think it's about jealousy, probably. I think it's about, some people think that, you know, a man has a job to bring money home, and it's more wajib on him to be in that place. But I think if that would actually be, having women there, they would not rush them in their jobs, but they would actually give them a reason to be better, to like to compete. Yeah, to compete with it. So I think this is just a better reason to make our community a more successful community. And not just to depend on that I will get the job just because I'm a man.
That's definitely true. I mean, like you were saying, that comment posted on Facebook, I don't wholeheartedly believe in that as well, but yeah, I was going on the comment of going further. I know we're nearly running out of time. We've got 4 minutes left till we end off the show. So just before, I know there's some more comments posted on Facebook, but due to the time limit, I couldn't read all of them out. I did mention some of the points mentioned, so I hope I covered everything that people mentioned. Last comments to our viewers, what would you say for all of those watching in the UK, in America, in Pakistan, like we got the email from Pakistan, from the Middle East, what would you say?
My message is just to those parents sitting with behind those screens. Please do not stop your daughters from what they want. I mean, I've seen a lot of daughters that like girls that really had high grades, let's say in secondary school and stuff, and then afterwards when they wanted to actually go for their career, go for what they want, then they like bumped into a wall. So it's really sad to see people with such passion, such abilities staying at home. I mean, in the future, if the girl grows up and becomes a mother, of course she will care for her children. It's natural for a woman to care for her children. She will absolutely put her children on her priority. But don't stop a girl from the beginning. I mean, that is so depressing for a woman. So I think everyone, every parent should give their daughters a chance and know that Islam is Islam actually
it encourages
women to be in those careers.
Definitely. Thank you very much for your very inspiring words, and we do thank you for joining us today. I believe that Fatima will be joining us on Thursday. Where we'll be speaking about whether to live in the West or East, because Sister Fatima has lived both in an Arab country and in a Western country as well. So we have many emails that have come through previously that said, is it better to live in the East or West? Would that strengthen your religion? So inshallah, we'll be discussing that on Thursday. So thank you very much. Inshallah, we'll see you again on Thursday.
Thank you.
For the audience at home, we do thank you for watching today's show, and all those who have contributed to today's show via email, Facebook, Twitter, and calling in to the live show. We do thank you all for your contribution and your valuable words. Just before we end off the show, I'd just like to mention that there is some very valuable books and very inspiring books about women in Islam and women in Islamic history who have contributed so much to the religion of Islam, both through education and actively to Islam. So if anyone wants the references to those books, please do email us at womansview@ahlulbayt.tv, and we can send over the names of the books to you for further reading. Just before we end off, I would like to say that as we have echoed in today's show, that a woman's duty towards the household is the most important aspect of a woman's life, but in no way does Islam prevent a woman from going and seeking education or going to her ambitious goals. So inshallah we can see more educational, more active females in the future. So we really need to end off today's show. So I know I have a whole speech that I would like to say, but I'll have to end it there. So inshallah join us on my Thursday show. I am live every Tuesday and Thursday. So that's all for today. And I would like to wish you all good night. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.